The thing is, I just don't like a guy who's where I think it's more prevalent is a guy who's starting 6th in a B main and needs to get to 3rd, right? Or a guy who's starting 20th because he
In a
had a bad
feature.
night and
Hmm.
he knows he can pick up a bunch of points if he can get to 7th or 8th instead of 15th or 16th, right? So that's when you do it and you kind of go under the radar and you maybe can slip, get by with it, you know, and not have to worry about it. I think I don't know if other series do this, but I know one thing we're gonna do this year is we're gonna test our hard chargers, right? Like, I mean, it's hard to, like, like I mean, I think that should become standard,
Yeah.
right? Like, because
There's
I mean,
might be
I've
a
seen it.
reason
I've
that
seen
guy
them.
passed that many
Yeah.
I'm
cars.
gonna tell you right now, at Eldora, a couple years ago, we were there. Joseph was starting side by side by a guy he had literally just outran in B
In a B
main on
main,
one of the prelim
and
nights.
dude drives to eighth
Dude
or
drives
something
by, and
from
literally
20 or whatever.
all they had time to do was go in and I mean, I guess they could have changed some shock, whatever, but adjusted here and there, but probably put a different tire on the left rear. And for some reason, he was digging in the bottom when no one else was,
Hmm.
right? And he went from 24th or wherever to like 12th, 13th. Guess what? He's done. Now he's in better points position
Yeah.
for Saturday's heat races, and
Hmm.
no one's even thought about checking his tires. You know what I mean? Like that happens. I guarantee you that happens every weekend, every race, every series. You can't police that, right? You can try, but you can't eliminate
Randomly
that.
select, or like a random
I mean,
position we're
yeah,
selecting
but
or
I
something.
mean,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be you could police that, but it's not going to be eliminated. There's no way to
Right.
totally eliminate that. A guy thinks I can't pick up 10 spots here where I would otherwise pick up four.
Hmm.
You can't fully
Let's
eliminate
slap a
that.
little
But
this on there real quick.
Yeah. I definitely think points racing and hard chargers, that's definitely something you should
yeah,
test.
Yeah.
well, and I think maybe you check. So I think you check the winner and like I think you definitely check the people up front just to keep them honest,
Hmm.
right? But I mean, maybe, and I'm just spitballing ideas here, but maybe you check, like we're gonna also draw, random 3, 4 points guys, right? So just because you're having a bad night doesn't mean you can bolt on because how many, in the points position, whether you're racing for mid pack or you're racing for the lead, it's the same amount of points per position in a lot, most of these series. So maybe we should be checking there,
Hmm.
like point being it's happening and we need to check it. Like if we're gonna make it illegal, it needs to be checked.
The other option is I mean, is it an option? I guess would be the question, to open it up. I mean, that's what you see when this stuff comes up.
Mhm.
So there's always someone saying, "Why don't we just allow it?" Is that an option in y'all's opinion, to just say, "Okay, we're not testing
Gosh.
tires. Y'all put whatever the
Oh
heck you
my
want
god.
on your tires, go-kart style.
I
Let's open
wouldn't
it
I
up."
wouldn't I don't want
I'd
to
say
see that.
that's not good.
Yeah.
What if someone's better at
Yeah.
juicing tires and
How
hell,
much
we don't know
money's
anything about it,
Well,
and
okay,
then
so someone would argue, what if someone's better at adjusting shocks, right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
mean,
then
I
what if
don't think
someone's
that's an
better at adjusting shocks and juicing tires?
well then I mean
Yeah.
I'm just saying why is that different than,
Somebody
setup or
could make a
shocks
good
or
living
yeah.
juicing
But
tires.
but my point is, that I don't that's I get
hell,
what you're saying. But my other thing is I think it's the health issues concerns, right? Like these are chemicals.
Cancer causing agents.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about. I mean, I did with go-kart racing for 1 week. Did tried tire prep, and then luckily Mr. Dave came in and he literally took the tires home with him. That I
yeah.
never met the guy before. He showed up at the race one weekend and he's like, "You're not doing this right," and I'm like, "You want to do it?" Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he took the tires off and took them home with
Yeah.
him at
And
the
all
end
of
of
a
the
sudden you were
day.
a second faster.
Exactly. And he literally
Mhm.
that night, not after a week of prep. That night, I picked up a second. This is go-kart racing, totally different.
It's legal
But
too, by the way, in go-kart
yeah, and then
racing.
totally legal.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens. But literally it was a second difference. Here's the other thing. This is how important it is in go-kart racing, at least. One of the weekends we were there, tires, everything's ready to go. You're literally, it depends on the rules and if you can prep tires literally on the staging or where you can and can't, but you're ready to go as you go out for qualifying, right? We go out and qualify it's like hot lap qualifying or whatever. Everyone's out there. We go out there, come back, and I qualified like there's like I think it was 2 groups of 6, and I was like fourth, right? And I was kind of on par, but not great. Well, they didn't have for our group the timing quit working, right? So they had to bring us right back around and go again. Well, Mr. Dave, literally, as I'm pushing the cart, is running up with
Tire
soap
soak.
and the rag, like, and puts it on. No one else did, and it caused a storm. But there's no rule against it. And Mr. Dave, he's done this like at
Mhm.
high level, and he's like, stop, because you couldn't go into staging. He wipes the rear tires real quick. All right, go and go out there, and I'm the fastest one there. Like I
For
promise
2
you, like
laps anyway.
I don't remember what the difference was, but yeah, literally 2 laps on the track took me from
Mhm.
being a fourth place kart to I want to be like it was like wow, that made a difference. Like
How'd the feature go?
like huh?
How'd the feature go?
I don't remember that night. I'm
Yeah.
sure it got wrecked, and that's usually how it went. I
Yeah.
don't honestly have to go back and look, but it's like wow, that really does make a difference. Like just one coat right before you go
Mhm.
out makes a difference if the other people don't have it.
I don't want
So
anything to do with it. Like,
I
I
just
don't.
and to be fair, go-kart racing, they don't have shocks, right? Like they're
Mhm.
how they get grip is their tires, right? And so it makes a bigger difference there than I think it would in car racing, but it still shows you that you can,
Yeah.
it's significant, it
Mhm.
significantly alters the tire versus a tire that hasn't been done, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the answer
I
is.
know right now. How long does it take to do a tire, Jesse? Mount, size,
Dude,
groove, sight, grind.
An hour.
an hour or
Yeah.
more.
And then so you talk about a set of tires or just getting ready to go to one race and getting your tire like for this weekend. 2 races, a night of practice. I mean, you're gonna spend somebody on the
A
team
day.
spending a day, and now you got to add the other component to it, of soaking it and
Yeah.
figuring that out.
Then we
And
gotta hire the guy off of Breaking Bad to cook us up some tire
yeah,
dope that's gonna work
Mm.
to optimum levels. Yeah.
yeah, and then they come in and think we're cooking something else, and we
Yeah.
get like
Yeah.
Then we go to jail. Then
yeah,
you
or
think
we
about the
blow the
bail,
place
and then
up, you
yeah.
know.
Eh,
I don't know. I mean,
Uh,
obviously that would take it away. It would put the labs, at least if they're depending on late
Put
model
the labs
racing,
out
where
of
they're
business.
yeah, and take it out of the question. But at the same time, I don't want you got to do it. Then everybody's got to do it. Then that's what this game is then about is 100% soaking tires, and I don't want anything to do with that.
Well,
That's
and
my
Yeah.
the
personal
question
opinion.
is though, are guys thinking that we don't know, like no one knows, like we don't know how deep this is, right? No one really knows. Even the people, those higher up people I've talked to, right,
Hmm.
don't really know. They all seem to assume that it is a concern and problem enough that we need to be testing it. Like I'm not a chemist and I'm not an expert in all this, but there are people who are and who have studied it and they know what's being tested and what's being found and how to
And
put
what
something
can?
else in the tire that can't be found, right?
Mm,
And there's this theory, or not theory, but the thought, like in talking, is if the lab has now caught up with whatever's been going on, is why you all of a
oh,
sudden got guys getting popped, right? That thought they were doing it right, or doing it. I'm not saying that 'cause I'm not saying that's what's going on again, because that's between them and God. Um, and whoever else may or may not have put something on the tire. But like that could be why all of a sudden you had 3 guys, get popped.